Hello there. President Macron of France reportedly wants to use the UK energy sector as a lever in any remaining Brexit negotiations. Firstly, please subscribe and like this video to give my channel a boost. And I'm always uploading new content, so please do check back daily. And a big thanks to my Patreon and PayPal supporters. While the UK Prime Minister Boris Johnson was telling the nation on Friday to prepare for a no-deal Brexit end to the talks, the French President was saying that the EU should cut off the UK from the EU energy markets. Now, as I understand it, the energy aspects of a Brexit deal have already been just about agreed and could be signed off in plenty of time for the 31st of December. But Emmanuel Macron appears to want to tear that up so that Brussels can continue to push to maintain control over UK fishing quotas and keep the French fishing community off his back. On Friday, the Europe editor for the French news outlet RTE, Tony Connelly, wrote, "The European Union is considering making a more explicit link between energy and fish as the Brexit negotiations enter a critical phase," RTE News understands. A number of sources have confirmed that the EU's chief negotiator Michel Barnier will seek to use the leverage of the EU's energy market as a potential way of unblocking the UK's resistance to granting European fishing fleets ongoing access to British waters. And the piece says that one EU diplomat told it that the energy connection with the EU was worth far more to the UK than fish was. The energy market is considerably more valuable to the UK than the entire fish stock that they're talking about. Barnier seems to have paused the discussions on energy for the moment, and this link has been made with fish. Now, I did a bit of digging into the UK energy market, and looking at a House of Commons Library briefing paper from October 2018, I find that the UK is a net importer of energy, with a summary of the report saying, after spending most of the previous 25 years as a net exporter of energy, the UK became a net importer in 2004. The gap between imports and exports has increased since 2004. In 2017, UK imports of energy were almost twice as large as its exports. Net imports made up 36% of UK energy needs. So what is Macron saying? That he wants to switch off the lights in the UK? I can hear the pro-EU lobby in the UK cheering him on while they sit in the cold this winter. Anyway, the Express reports that, following the EU summit in Brussels on Friday, Mr Macron told French radio that if the UK does not allow French fishermen in its waters, the EU would have to block the UK's energy supplies to the European market. He suggested the right to fish in British waters was worth €650 million to EU fishermen, but that access to European energy markets was worth up to £2.3 billion to the UK. And the summary of the House of Commons paper also said that only Norway, Canada and Australia of the OECD states are net exporters of energy. The UK's energy import dependency is less than levels in France, Germany, Japan, Korea and Italy, but greater than the US. This suggests to me that Macron is more interested in hitting UK exports of energy into the EU, so damaging our profits, and potentially maybe switching off the lights in France. Now, the energy mix is very complex and involves stuff like crude oil, natural gas, green energy, nuclear and fossil fuels like coal. And looking at the report, much of the import-export structure is based on seasonal factors and also on price differentials. In the winter we import more energy and in the summer we export more, and the direction of flow will also be dictated by the difference in price, When UK electricity is cheap, it flows one way, and when it's cheap in France, it flows the other way, for example. And for example, we could import a bit more gas to produce some electricity to export to France or Ireland when the economic balance is right for us. Now, there is one country that might not appreciate Macron's meddling: Norway. Here's what the House of Commons Library briefing paper said. In 2017, 29 million tonnes, or 57% of the 51 million tonnes of crude oil imported into the UK, came from Norway. Then there's the main direct source of UK gas imports is direct from Norway. In 2017, 75% of the UK's gas imports came via the pipelines to Norway or connections with the Norwegian gas fields. Now, Norway is not in the European Union, but it is in the EU-controlled European Economic Area. But the main point here is that energy is probably far more important to Norway than French access to some cod. And let's have a look at some other countries. In 2017, the UK's largest single sources of coal solid fuel imports were Russia, 46%, the US, 28%, Australia and Colombia, both 9%. None of those are in the European Union. Anyway, the UK has various cable and pipeline energy interconnectors with the EU, so presumably Macron wants them shut off. Now, as a net importer of energy, I do have to wonder what Macron is really threatening us with. Does he think he can get Norway to stop selling all that energy to us? Really? Or is his push, as has already been suggested, to try and stop the UK exporting energy into the single market? Now, I'm no expert in this field, but if the UK stops exporting energy into the EU, that would surely mean that as an overall net importer of energy, we won't need to import as much. At the end of the day, the fight for popularity in France by a failing French president should not be allowed to dictate UK energy policy. Overall, the UK should be looking to increase its energy self-sufficiency, because it's not just Macron that likes to pull strings with energy. But President Macron probably needs to reread Article 8 of the Lisbon Treaty, where it says, "The Union shall develop a special relationship with neighbouring countries, aiming to establish an area of prosperity and good neighbourliness, founded on the values of the Union and characterised by close and peaceful relations based on cooperation." For the purposes of paragraph 1, the Union may conclude specific agreements with the countries concerned. These agreements may contain reciprocal rights and obligations, as well as the possibility of undertaking activities jointly. Their implementation shall be the subject of periodic consultation. But the EU seems intent on a special relationship with the UK that consists of the UK doing what Brussels tells it to. If Brussels doesn't want a free trade agreement with the UK, then that is up to them. But having one of its member state leaders apparently telling the press how the UK will be punished for not rolling over is unacceptable. However, considering we've pulled the plug on the talks, Macron will be talking to himself, won't he? Anyway, if you want to hear more from me, please don't forget to subscribe and also press that little bell, or you won't get any notifications. And if you want to see more of me, buy a mug with my mug on it by following the link in the descriptions box below, and support me on Patreon or PayPal. So what do you think about Macron's threat to use the energy sector against us? Please share and comment, and thank you for watching.